Okay, so till now we have learned a lot about Docker, and before even we proceeding with the installation, there is still one question that we need answer for. Right? We learned about container, we learned about the architecture of Docker, we saw what containers are, what is namespace and C groups, but still there is one question: where Docker fits into DevOps and cloud. In this video, we are going to see top 7 use cases of Docker, and also we are going to see where Docker fits into DevOps and cloud, right? Now see, Docker brings three important things, that is portability, consistency, and speed. Now let's understand what are the use cases that Docker brings us into a plate so that it would be easier and it will give us a good clarity why we are learning this tool in the very first place. All right, so let us see the use case number one. So the first problem that Docker solved was the environment issue. So the developer used to say it works on the machine, but the same code when it was deployed on QA server, it was failing. So the QA used to say it is failing on QA environment. And in the production used to say it fails and the production is done, right? So there was a issue that we were facing from dev to QA to prod. That issue is resolved with Docker. Now what Docker does, the developer will write the Docker file, image will be created, same image will be deployed in dev server, on QA server, and the same will be deployed on prod. So there will be single image, and since we are deploying the single image, same image, it will be showing the same behavior in all the environment. So that was one of the issue that Docker solved. Now let us take a real life analogy. Let us say we are working on a startup, there are 20 developers that are working on it. So without Docker, the life will be, there will be different node version, there will be different Python version, right? And there will be manual configuration in each and every time, right? And this will be very much hectic for the auction too, right? But when Docker comes into the picture, there will be only one thing that we need to take care of. That will be, we just have to focus on writing the Docker file. Once the Docker file is ready, it will be a single image. The same image will be used in dev. It will be deployed on QA. The QA will test it. If there are any bugs, it will be resolved in dev. Again, a new image will be provided. They will test it. When I say they, it will be QA. The QA will test it. Once everything is approved, the same image will deploy in the production, right? So same image and zero confusion. So that is one of the things that Docker cleared. So that was use case number one. Now let us see use case number two. All right, so use case number two is CI/CD. So this is the place where Docker actually shines. So what actually CI/CD? CI/CD means automatically build, automatically test, and automatically deploy. So what usually happens over here is the developer writes the code. The code is actually pushed to the central repository. Once it is pushed to the central repository using CI, it creates an artifact for us, and that artifact is Docker image. That image is then pushed to the artifact repository, and then it is deployed to the server. So the same image is used in dev environment, same image is used in the testing environment, and the same is used in prod, right? So the effort here is minimized using CI/CD, and that is the actual power of CI/CD. When combined with Docker, it literally reduces manual things, right? Now, how would be the scene of DevOps without Docker? So it will be like we are using the code, but there will be different environment version, there will be different configuration that we need to take care of. That thing is eliminated using Docker, right? And this is where Docker actually shines. So the same testing version is equals to same version that is deployed into the prod. Third use case is microservice architecture. Modern application is not a big huge application. They are split into smaller services. There will be small service for front end, there will be another service for payment gateway, there will be another service for core, another service for notification. So each of the things are separated by a smaller microservices, and Docker does supports the same. So let's say how does Docker help over here? So each microservice, there will be a different container for each service, there will be independent dependencies for each services, and let's say if there is a need for scalability, so each service can be scaled independently. Now let us take an example, and let's say we are using a payment service, right? And during sales, it requires more consumption of the resources. So you can just scale up and scale down based on the use cases. And that's the power that Docker brings us into the place when it comes to scalability. So here Docker helps us in performing scalability, and that's the reason it is cost efficient. So use case number four, that is cloud deployment. So Docker is heavily used in cloud-based environments, that is AWS, Azure, and GCP. So instead of deploying the raw code, the companies deploy the Docker images. Now, why do cloud environments love Docker? It's just because they have a resemblance. So the servers are temporary, they can be scaled up and down, and they need fast startup. Now, when it comes to container boots up in second, they use fewer resources and are easy to replicate. So that's the reason it is a perfect match for cloud-based environment in cloud-based deployment. Use case number five, that is application packaging and distribution. Now consider a scenario where you are developing an application. So without Docker, the life will be very much painful. Now you will write the code, you must install all the dependencies manually, the version config will happen and the setup will be painful. But with Docker, the installation will be very much easier. The user will just create the container and the application is working fine for us. So it is just like downloading an application instead of installing 10 libraries individually. So this is one of the best thing that Docker brings us, so that it introduces manual effort reduction. So use case number six, a personal favorite one because it helps in standardization of environment. So let's say it is a big company and there is a new person who joins the company. So without Docker, the life of a new joiner will be like install everything manually. There will be version conflicts. He will solve the issues and then things will get started, right? So here he will be wasting a lot more of time. But with Docker, he will just have to prune the repository, run one single command, and he is on pace with the team. So the standardization is been done using Docker. So the final use case, that is testing multiple versions of the application. Now let's say you want to test an application that requires Node 16, maybe Node 18 or Node 20. How will be the life of a tester will look like without Docker? He will have to install and uninstall the Node application multiple times. This will create environment mismatch and the environment will be messed up. But with Docker, he will just have to run the container and he can actually test that application. So no need to worry about the version conflicts, just focused on testing. So this is how it helps the testers to get along with the test. Now, where Docker fits into the DevOps workflow. So let's connect everything into a single place. So the code is written, it is pushed into Git, then it is moved into CI tool. The Docker image is created, it is pushed into the artifact repository, and finally it is moved into the production environment. So Docker acts as a packaging system, the delivery box, and the deployment unit. So it sits in the middle of DevOps. So that was all in this video where we saw the use cases of Docker. We understood where Docker fits into the DevOps workflow and into the cloud workflow, why cloud environments love Docker because of speed and multiple flexibility that Docker offers, right? In this video, we saw the use cases and where it lies into DevOps domain. In the next video, we start with the installation and with the actual journey of Docker. So yeah, that was all for this video and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much and keep learning.